this first video, we'll explain how to install a Windows virtual machine inside GNS3. So let's start. Okay, we have GNS3 and we want to install a guest, an in-device, a Windows in-device. So we'll have to create a new template just manually because we want to configure to set up everything by hand. So next we'll have to go first to QEMU virtual machines. We've got here the ones we've already defined, so we'll create a new virtual machine. Okay, we want to run it in our local computer. Next, the name will be Windows 10, for example. Next, the amount of RAM, will gigabytes will be enough. If you don't have much RAM in your computer, reduce the number till 4 or even 2 gigabytes. Next, the console has to be the BNC console. Next, you need a new disk image, so you want to create a new QCode2, for example. You set that pre-allocation off because you don't want all the space to be used. You put a name, or whatever name would be okay. I think the name is already taken by me, so I will change the name just to Windows 10 QCode2, finish, and that's it. That's the most basic setup. Now I have to recheck the setup of that Windows virtual machine to add some configuration. So I click in Edit, add a bit more of compute power. We will add 4 vCPUs. Don't put too much because you risk your real machine to be without enough resources. That's in the general settings. In the HDD, nothing to change. In the CD/DVD, we have to select the operating system we want to install. In that case, it will be Windows 10 21 second half. Open. I don't want it copied in the default images directory. Yes. Oh, sorry. It's not needed, so it's better to say no, because if you say yes, you will have that image copied to another folder. But it's not important. Just you will have the ISO copied to a folder inside the GNS3 folder. The folder is from your home folder, the GNS3 images. So never mind, I've copied. Let's go to the network, just one network adapter. And here in adapter, in advance, it's important to do several changes to make this virtual machine work. First, we need some options. One is saying that we want the VGA adapter Virtio VGA. So that's one parameter needed, /VGA Virtio. The other one is /no defaults. So -no defaults. So it will skip installing floppy and different devices. Then we have to specify which is our keyboard layout. So it should be keyboard Spanish. Okay, keyboard Spanish. And at the end, we have to specify how do you want to manage the USB device tablet. So this emulator knows how to deal with the USB. Okay, and then important, you have to uncheck that option because now we want to install everything in our real in our virtual disk. So we have to uncheck that. If we keep that option checked when we add a new virtual machine in the topology, any change will be done in a different place. So we need this to be now not a linked base VM. And that's it. OK and OK. Now we can just drag our virtual machine into our topology. We'll have to wait for a while because the first time, and then once we got here we could start that virtual machine. To install Windows, it will be important to connect Windows to the internet, so we can use Windows Update to download the drivers for the mouse and different things that could be needed. So it will be important that we use an NAT device and just connect it directly to our computer. So from the Ethernet in the computer to the NAT in our device, and that's it. We can already start that virtual machine. Before that, just let me explain what will happen if we try to put another virtual machine in our topology. It will complain because without the linked base setting, and not without the linked base setting, can only be used once. So now we'll use it once, we'll install Windows and everything here, and once installed, then we could convert to a linked base VM, so we could add more than one instance. So let's start. Start console. It's the BNC window, so we'll show a graphical interface. Now it's reading and checking the DVD, and once it's done, the standard Windows installation menu will appear, so we can do a normal installation. We'll leave that process of installing Windows for you because you already know how to do that. So once we could verify that the Windows installation is working as expected, I'll pause the recording and come back once Windows is already installed to check how it works, and so we can verify that the installation has gone smoothly. Okay, so here we got the Windows screen is booting from the DVD, and now we'll have the option of choosing the language. Okay, so that's the normal Windows installation. You know how to do that, so just I'll stop the recording and back once it's installed. Okay, so here we are. We've got our Windows installed. We've updated till the latest version, so it have downloaded all the controllers, everything needed. So now we have our screen, and we can already shut down that Windows machine. So stop that machine. It's important to stop properly to avoid problems just closing the virtual machine without shutting properly. Now we can just delete that virtual machine in in our project, and just a final change. Go to our template, setup, and just change to a linked base VM. Okay, so now we can have 1, 2, or as many Windows devices as we need. We can start all of them. So we have 3 different virtual machines started. Careful with the amount of memory. If you have set up with high memory, perhaps it's a good thing to reduce, because now we've got here 8 gigabytes. So We've got three machines, it's 24 gigabytes. I've got 32, so for me it's okay. But careful if you open lots of Windows instances, careful not to overuse your RAM. So it's better to reduce it. We can delete all of those machines and nothing changes. If you want to change the memory, you have to go to configure template and put something a bit smaller here. So that's it. We've seen how to set up a Windows machine and how to install, so we can use as many Windows machine as our RAM requirements allow. So see you next video. Thank you for watching.